In the bottom left side, we got ourselves a Kaisi gamer man himself, the blue Terran player. Innovation. In the top right side, it's been picked up by Team Envy, the Red Zerg. DRG. Alright. And there you have it, boys and girls. We have ourselves a match. We have ourselves a series. And we got ourselves 2 more series to boot. That will be coming along, chugging along the track later down the line. Couple of drones. Lovely. Spit them out. Spit them out your hatchery. Give us some more. Wanted to buy that second hatchery, of course, first. So good. It's fun to have innovation and Bjorn both here at the same time. Who are we on right now? Whose camera is... Okay, it is Edu. Don't tell me he's still doing the introductions. Is he still doing introductions? I don't think so. Alright, we have the Reaper expand here for innovation. A hatch first for DRG into the spawning pool afterwards. So it's all looking pretty darn comfortable. No one's in distress just quite yet. No one's really out of the loop of what is going on, as both players probably are assuming that the standard things are going on, and that is exactly what's going on. We do have the... Let me see, actually. Okay, that's the second depot. Second base. Nope, nothing that much yet. There's a tell. Goes for the Marine straight afterwards. Common thing to do to try and get rid of some overlords, or at least deny them a little bit of snooping around. Gather up some sense of privacy. We have the first Reaper kind of poking around, checking it out, not really getting anything done. DRG on the case. Has that third base already coming up as well. Does get scouted by the Reaper as well. Let's see here. Third base, full innovation. DRG is just still droning up as well himself. Looking pretty sharp on that drone count. Oh. Ping 0 there. We have the first bit of aggression coming out here for innovation. We will be following it up with a bit of Banshee as well. It's a good way to keep yourself alive in that early game, as well as still deny some creep and get yourself a healthy economy going at the same time. Let's see how well DRG manages to defend his drone lines, his creep tumors, and most importantly, of course, if he's going to be able to keep getting bigger with the economy here while doing so. Can he get away with being as greedy as he can? Not sure if he knows about the third base just quite yet, so he is being rather quick on it. Let me see, did he see the third base? I don't think he did. Yeah, no. Only now it's flying over, and it's not even going to be in view of the Overlord right there. Even getting cloaked for the Banshees here. It's really committing to this. Almost having 2 of them. We have the lair coming up, as well as some spore crawlers, so it looks like DRG should be able to prepare for this relatively well. Did get a good glimpse at the third base as actually, well, he knows those forces are there, so maybe can infer kind of what's going on here. Grabs himself a fourth base as he is just gonna continue along the happy drone track. Innovation here, not really keeping his Hellions active, right? Not really utilizing them to patrol the edges of the creep, try to get the Tumus, something like that. It looks like DRG much more capable of in a position where he can try to do the creep spread, but less so that he can get counterattacks, of course, going here. Innovation much more heavier setup in a way that he can deal with that, of course. Ling run-bys and such. Is that a bad thing? Not really for DRG if he's not making any Lings, right? He didn't ever make that big of an investment into Ling run-bys, so it's not a bad thing that he's not being allowed to do it because, well, he's just happily droning here, right? Grabbing more and more drones, and that's all he has to do in this situation. Innovation, I mean, did he get a single drone so far? He got 4 in total. It's probably not as much as you would like to. He is on 3 command centers himself, so maybe that's going to make up for some of the fact, but there we are. Does start investing some scan energy also into just getting rid of these creep tumors. Might be trying to forge a pathway forward for his siege tank attack later down the line. Trying to figure out where the best opportunities will lie. Watch out for the surround. Alright, good bit of micro there from our Terran player. Keeps those Hellions alive and, well, most of them anyway. Some of them in the red there, but job well done. Avoids being surrounded. Really good on the scans here as well, getting most of the creep tumors. Most of the creep tumors that are in the front. I think a couple of Hellions backwards now. Interesting. Not sure if that was intended or if that was just a wrong pathing with the movement. Here's the siege tank attack. Most of the upgrades of innovation have finished up. He did scan ahead and saw a fair pile of Zerglings and Banelings assembling together. Did that put him off of the idea of attacking? No, it seems like he is doubling down. Just bringing along a bit of extra reinforcements. Has the Hellbats now activated and brought the Banshees along as well. Banshees can be very valuable here, using to target down Banelings and such. Gotta be careful though, of course, not to just send them head first into the Queen line. DRG having nothing of this fight. Just gonna go around and start dealing quite a bit of economic damage onto innovation here. Those SCVs, those Banelings, come on Banelings! Get 26 right there. The Banelings bust through the SCVs and get a good amount of supply depots as well. Bit of transfusion, keeping everything alive from the siege tank fire, at least the Queens. Zerglings and Banelings now gonna try to commit to this location here. Does he have enough? It looks like he just barely might. Oh, no, never mind. More Marines run in from the backside. 28 worker kills. That is really good for DRG here. But of course, he would like to avoid suffering a similar fate to his opponents. Losing this base isn't the worst thing in the world. He can afford to. Losing all those Overlords, that's a bit rough. Would like to see us managing somewhat of an escape, or at least attempt to. As DRG already has a 4th base, of course. That's why losing this base, not that much of a big deal. Even getting more damage done here with another Zergling run by, getting 8 more workers. Very well done there by the Red Zerg. Finding even more success with the run-bys as Innovation's macro, I mean, it's famous, but if you only have 46 workers, not much you can do with it. Albeit he still has a formidable army. Might just be able to still make something happen here with this. DRG is having a rough time cleaning it up, but then again, looks like cleaning up not really in his in his mind right now. Dashing across Zerglings on top of the siege tanks and the Marines. Once again, a formidable counter-attack as Innovation is spending so much of his resources across the map here. Trying to get another base killed off. DRG already making a new base on the top left side. Ready to take over for this base. That may or may not go down. I mean, he could afford to lose it, right? The amount of damage he's done to the economy of innovation, quite ludicrous. So it wouldn't be the worst. Can imagine I would prefer not to lose this base, of course. We'll try to commit here without any Widow Mines. The Zerglings and Banelings, they are having an absolute field day. And there you have it. GG is called. DRG wins game number 1. DRG on Team NV. Yeah, apparently DRG now on Team NV. He got picked up recently. And a lot of these green players right now are kind of switching around the teams quite a lot. And it's fun to see. Fun to see, of course, you know, players still being accepted into teams. Bit rough seeing that there's quite a bit of turmoil, but well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? That was game number 1 here between the two monstrosities, DRG and Innovation. Innovation taking a lot of damage. May have been able to, well, probably would have done a lot better, right, if he hadn't lost those, SCVs all the time, all over the place. Did become a bit rough at that moment. We'll see. Alright. Game number 2 on Death Aura here. If we continue onwards, we still have, let me see actually, Oxide, Lightshade, and Romanticide as the next maps that potentially could still come up as well, right? Oxide, a guaranteed, but Lightshade, Romanticide. We'll need to see Innovation win 1 or 2 games. Is what it is. Next game. Game number 2. Innovation DRG. Does Innovation... I think, and you know what? That first game... I still have a little bit of hope for Innovation here, right? That first game kind of may be a one-off in a sense, where we did have that amazing run by. If Innovation is a bit more on top of his either infrastructure at home, making that more difficult, or just having his reinforcements in the appropriate position, or at least enough of them in the appropriate position to deal with that type of aggression. And then, of course, those pushes that he was doing there in the end will continue a lot longer and will just grow a lot stronger, a lot quicker as well. That's the kind of the idea. You set yourself up with a very powerful front on your opponent's side, and then you just kind of keep feeding into it, right? You just try to keep your opponent engaging into you as you keep setting up on this front line. Yeah. Anyway, then if you don't have that reinforcement, suddenly your snake head is cut off from the tail and will no longer really produce any venom. In the bottom right side, by the way, guys, we have this blue Terran player fighting for the Kai Z Gamers. He is Innovation. Top left side, the red Zerg player fighting for Team NV. He is DRG. You know, played poor on IEM. Still the same poor play here. Would be disappointing. We all know how good Innovation is at video games, though. Who knows? Maybe he'll bounce back eventually. Could be in this series right here. I just don't quite know, of course. Got to the quarterfinals. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's not poor play, is it? Bum, bum, bum. Let's see, what are these boys up to? Actually, not that much. Just quite yet, is there? Again, the patient play here will be necessary. Until we have some Hellions about, perhaps, or maybe we'll get some Banshees once again. It's a pretty good map for the Banshees. A lot of dead space there next to the main base and the natural. A lot of nice maneuverabilities to try and out-clever the Queens with their pathing. Potential is there. Will Innovation go for it? Looks like he may, because this build is looking very, very similar as what we saw the previous game. Innovation still kind of sticking true to his colors, which, you know, is run, execute, program, build, order, win, and just kind of go for it. That's what he's good at. That's how he made his name, and looks like that is what we're getting here today as well. Didn't quite work out the previous time, of course, but maybe this time around it's going to get a bit more damage. Maybe he's going to be able to force a couple more units out of DRG. Got to the round of 12. Jeez Louise, guys. Make up your mind. What happened to Innovation? I don't know, guys. I'm on your word here. I don't know. It's a disagreement among you guys, then it's hopeless to me at this point. Play one the group stage. There we go. Thank you, Zargron. Yeah, I would be highly confused if Innovation suddenly has poor play, honestly, because I mean he has been the most solid player in the entire game throughout his career, right? For the longest period of time, probably. A little pack there onto the Overlord. Does manage to get rid of it. The third CC happily mewling away, and will partake in a bit of expanding of his own. Start harvesting his own minerals. Instead of leeching off of the other two command centers. It's fully grown now, after all. Now it's a little bit forwards here, but Innovation not really somebody that does too much with the Hellions anymore, lately at least. He used to be all over the place with the Hellions, right? But it seems like he just doesn't want to try and invest scans into killing off creep tumors anymore. It seems like he values the mules just that much more in order to get himself a bigger push later on down the line, right? Candy wrapper. I don't know what you're talking about. +1/+1 for both these players coming up as well as the lair is on the way. Well, this is a pretty neat surround with those lings. That's pretty fancy. Gets himself 2 Hellions. That did not feel like a surround, but still. Rushy? Rushy. Rushy be eating? You know I'm Kozan, right? But then again, you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Rushy, a formidable caster. Oh, it was behind. Ah, I see, okay. Behind me. Alright, I get it now. My bad. Failing speed still a long way apart from finishing, and Innovation already coming across the map here with this quite terrifying looking army. +1/+1 finishing up. Combat shield as well. Stimpack already acquired. And a armory along the way. Might transform those Hellions into Hellbats as well if he did time this out correctly. I would assume that he did, as it is Innovation. Critical error in the AI. Okay, no, he's just going to stick to the Hellions here for a little bit. No, yeah, now he switches. Alright, that was very confusing. I thought he saw the Banelings still being slow, and maybe that is why he stayed in the Hellion mode. Yeah, he just lost because he transformed his Hellions in front of the army, in front of like an enormous pack of Banelings. That is a little bit disappointing. Not gonna lie. Bit of a letdown. Comes in with wave 2. Maybe this will be enough. At least there's no Hellions. He can, you know, accidentally transform in front of the banelings. All on top of one another. Oh, man. Here we go. Marines. Banelings are coming in from behind, boys. Oh, God. Innovation. Loses everything again. Okay, I'm starting to have my doubts about innovation right now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening here. This is just kind of ridiculous. The amount of just momentum that innovation is gifting away here. Oh. Guess he didn't feel like he could lift up into the medevacs there or something. Now he does. Yeah. Doesn't feel like the cleanest play that I've ever seen from innovation here. It's not a good sign for him. But who knows? Maybe that's just him working more so on his macro. Let's hope so. So has 70 workers here, fair amounts, but with the 90 of DRG in the driver's seat still, looking to start breaking some expansions here. Already managed to delay this one a little bit, and yeah, just probably gonna keep doing that over and over again as his economy looking pretty darn. Oh god, you're joking, innovation. Alright, well, in come the banelings. I think we may have a GG here momentarily, guys. That was, that's the game. There we go. Alright, GG. Okay. Alright. Alright. Innovation. How do we frame this? Ooh, that's rough. He is looking like, how was this called? It's looking like a blind man trying to use echolocation to find his contact lenses in a pharmaceutical store. No, wait. It's trying to find contact lens fluids. Right, in the pharmaceutical store. Don't Goose slapping innovation about right now. It seems like innovation doesn't really have a real clean shot. The wraparound with the banelings was pretty darn cool, to be fair. I don't know, maybe innovation would be able to just kind of pick up in that situation as well. But, thinking the wrong Matcherino. Yeah, I did not get a chance to set up the bot for this. Unfortunately, I can get you the right Matcherino though. Hold up. Thank you for supporting the Matcherino, first and foremost, actually. That's pretty darn cool. That is pretty darn useful, as we would like to keep doing this. I am having trouble. Oh, there we are. There it is. Bammo. I found it. And slamming it in there. There we go. We got it right there. Let me pin that right. That bad boy up on top. There we go. So it's findable, right? People can refer to it. Here we are. Game number 3. Yeah, that's right. We're already 2 games down, and this man is not looking too sharp. The Blue Terran from Kaisi Gaming. It's looking to have a bad day here today. Innovation. Top right side, the Red Zerg from Team NV. He is DRG. Taking full advantage and showing no mercy to his opponents. Doesn't seem like he is fully committed right now. Thanks, Simon. I mean, it's not even necessary to donate the money, right? All you gotta do is just, like, press in the coupon code and that money just appears into StarCraft 2 bank accounts. That's a great thing. You don't have to spend any money to do it. That's the best. I think it was Artosis that said one day Matcherino is gonna crash the economy, and pretty much what's happening, I feel like. Okay, both players, but again, yeah, setting up shop for a little bit of a at least mid-game scenario, right? We'll get ourselves past that early game. Relatively unscathed. We have been seeing Innovation do a lot with the siege tank style though, right? I wonder what would happen if he were to switch it up into the Widow Mines. I think that would be a pretty good idea overall, seeing how with the siege tanks, every single time he ran into those circling, bailing army compositions, which is what DRG prefers to play. Remind you. Wasn't it in some GSL series or somewhere where TY, how he beat DRG was just basically force him to not play circling, bailing Mutalisk. Feels like the Widow Mines have been more effective recently. Yeah, the Widow Mines have been doing pretty darn good recently. But then again, they've always been really good, right? They've always been one of those units that can just turn a game upside down. Maybe we're just seeing people getting better with the application of the Widow Mine, right? They're using more armies to bait other armies into the Widow Mine. They are getting better with the positioning, being clever with how they come in with the medevacs, all this stuff contributing to, you know, improving the lethality of the Widow Mine. And target fire micro getting better and better, but, you know, from players. Just nuke, yeah. Could just nuke. May as well. Right, do the Maru way. Widow Mines, just really big Widow Mines, or nukes, really big Widow. Wait, what? I'm not sure if a nuke can be described as a really big Widow Mine, but I'm alright with it. Here comes the push, by the way, from Innovation. Is this with an armory, actually? I did not. It is. Alright, just transforms right on top of the queens here. This actually does help out in this sense, because he will be able to get the close to distance quite quickly. He actually takes less damage this way than waddling his way forward, trying to get on top of the queens in the first place. He's doing a really good job, and these queens actually, all of them, are falling quite rapidly right now. Innovation manages to grab game number 3 in a quite quick play and finds himself with a point on the board at least. His Hellbat push was quite aggressive. I was not watching the Hellion development that much. I knew there would be Hellions, but I wasn't paying close enough attention to the amount that was being built, apparently. But, well, regardless, that was quite the push from Innovation. It seems rather committed, right? Not sure. It felt like an incredible amount of Hellions for that early in the game, and like there wouldn't be that much you would be able to fall back onto at a later point in time if it doesn't quite work. But it did work, so yeah. Well done, well done. Hats off to Innovation. Finds the play there, finds himself the victory, and with that, he, you know, buys himself a little bit of a shot here. Still needs to win, I believe, 2 games in a row to make this comeback a reality. But you know what? At least now there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a glimmer of hope. There's a possibility that is, you know, manageable now to get into the success range. The knee breaker builds, as people like to call that builds. Is that with the Hellbats? That does it sound, you know, that's an appropriate name build. Just a bunch of Hellbats breaking your knees. That's how it feels like to get Hellbat pushed as well. Elbat pushes are especially good when they add a little spice like Banshee or BC. Yeah, having that that air damage just really ramps it up, right? Because if you then get those queens knocked out, suddenly you just become unstoppable at that point, right? There we are. The 4th game here that will be played. Bottom right side, we got ourselves a blue Terran player fighting for KZ Gaming Innovation. And the top left side, we got ourselves a red Zerg player fighting for Team NV. DRG. Because of the concussive shell. Aha. You know what? It still feels very much like having your knees being broken. Oh, innovation. Coming across the map here. Those buildings do not belong on this side of the map, but innovation seems to think differently. Imagine off of the back getting a 2-2 score now and suddenly making just a massive return in the series here. Was all smack talk that riled him up. Got him in a furious fit of rage, and now cheesing his way through the rest of the best of 5. He's gonna go for Reapers here. He's gonna go for Reapers, guys. Oh my god, it's grandiose, glorious, fantastic, marvelous. Let's see if it works. Because that's those 6 links right here from DRG. They're ready to play. DRG almost seeming like he knew this would be coming up. It's still a long path removed from getting himself any speed for the Zerglings, but yeah, it sees now no command center on this low ground. Trying to get those Zerglings across the map. Is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? It seems like it is causing some of those Reapers to go back home, so at least one of them. Yeah, I guess one is the bare minimum you need, right? DRG here finding the triple racks. As soon as they are discovered, the Reapers will give chase to these Zerglings right here. Innovation comes up the ramp here with now 3 Reapers. Still has 1 back at home, of course, as well. Had to send it back home in case those Zerglings do try to run across. 2 Queens now available here for DRG, though. Should be quite a bit of firepower, but the Reapers are doing a great job at taking out these Queens. Their HP bars so far. They're a little bit removed from having the transfuse as well. This Queen might be able to pick off 1 or 2. Again, good micro there from Innovation. Will be able to keep his low HP Reapers in the backside. Still continuing onwards, laying in the fire with the healthy ones. That's what you need to do. Ooh, Reaper, one of them, going a bit off the wrong way. Just managed to get everything assembled on this side. There's a spine crawler here now. Ready to start poking as soon as those Reapers commit up onto this high ground. And with that, perhaps, maybe, DRG managed to hold this off. Will it be enough? Just needs these 3 Queens with the Zerglings to hold off the Reapers out of the forefront here. And then he has the spine crawler securing the other side. Another Queen does come into the fray as well. But look at how quickly these Reapers are dealing damage at this moment. Metabolic boost about to finish up. 4 more Zerglings on the verge of finishing up. A lot of the Zerglings going down as the metabolic boost is finishing up. Only 3 of them remain. 4 of them now. All of the Queens in the red. They are dead. DRG falls down after, well, a defense that looks like maybe it was going to get somewhere. Unfortunately for DRG, it apparently will not be going anywhere here anytime soon. Was a little bit too quick on the trigger, sending those Zerglings in. And that cost him quite dearly. Innovation finds himself another victory here off of the back of the triple Rex Reaper build. All being proxied. There's DRG here kind of digesting his loss, realizing, oh boy, I was 2-0 versus this fine fella. Sure, that's what's on his mind right now. Now he's doing this stuff to me. There we are. GG is called. It's happening, guys. It's happening. The cheese is bringing it on through. One more game like that is required, and that will be the ultimate victory there for innovation with the reverse sweep. DRG trying his best to hold on, even at the spawning pool first. Didn't quite invest into the gas as well, so the metabolic boost quite slow to develop. And he never quite managed to really get the Zerglings on top of the Reapers there. As he had a good amount of Zerglings, they ran in with like 5 seconds left on the clock for metabolic boost, and that is more than enough for all of those guys to slap it down. Well, Kozan, the small light in the tunnel is not the power of the sun in your eyes. It's a lot of light here. I do have probably need to try and get some more distance between me and the lighting setup, but unfortunately my small room will not allow for it. So 안녕하세요. 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 All right. Game number 5. Yeah, game number 5. We managed to get to another match point here, or the ace match. Where's the hairstyle from previous stream? It's still here. Look at it. Can't you see? Look. Well. There. It's neck and neck. It's true, Simon. It really is. Neck and neck. Can this man do it? He's spooling on through with more SCVs going across the map, because why the hell not, right? It worked the last time. Let's do it one more time here for the blue Terran player from Kaiser Gaming. Give it up for innovation. The man that had 2 points on the boards when it was all looking nice. No points for his opponent. Now suddenly back in a spot where it's tied up. Has to find his way to defeat this proxy 3 Rex that is coming up here most likely. So going to stick to the 2. He's not getting any gas, so this might be something else entirely. But you know what, the proxy 2 Rex, that is the gas right now. I don't think that is meant for Reapers anymore, though. That is a little bit late. Anyway, he's DRG. Did I say that already? I don't know. I think I fell off the wagon there a little bit. And started doing all sorts of other stuff rather than casting and introducing the player. Got distracted with my word vomit. The word diarrhea. Oh. Did he want to try and dig out these mineral patches here? This one already has a mineral in his hand. This one doesn't, so this one will need to get rid of this one patch here. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Right? Yeah, that's a pretty cool hiding place. Comes in. 2 SCVs going undiscovered so far. These overlords are like, yeah, we got the 2 main pathways in. We know what's up. Or do you, Mr. Overlord? Do you? Oh, just barely catches a glimpse of that barracks right here. But I suppose he already knows because there's a marine in front of his natural base with a bunker being produced right now. Here we go. Those drones need to make sure that either the bunker does not get completed or that the Marines never manage to get to the bunker in the first place. Pretty good surround so far. Gets 2 of the Marines looking for the 3rd. That's a really good surround as the rest of the Marines here kind of running in as well. The drones now backing up as Zerglings manage to get rid of the bunker. It looks like DRG managed to hold this off rather well. Is gonna have to replenish those lost drones though. 6 of them have gone down. On the other side, we have Innovation now coming up with a plan B of his own. And that is going to include getting himself that first expansion finally. And the fact that that is only now coming down, of course, a good sign for DRG that he might be able to recuperate his initial losses here with the extra added in production. Innovation might still be able to squeeze out something else, though, of course. A Hellion or 2, right? Anything off the swords. Get a bunch of extra kills on the Zerglings or drones, and then suddenly it's bad again for DRG. But you know what? So far, DRG kind of just wants to try and drone up as much as possible again. maybe get himself that third base. Okay, also the third CC here being built. The common way to follow up the proxy 2 racks that doesn't quite kill off your opponent. But the triple command center as well is a good play at this moment because, well, DRG droning up for the time being. Although that is a lair on the way now as well. 2-base Mutalisk. DRG not having shown that much of the Mutalisk just quite yet in this best of 5. I think we've seen him a little bit at the tail end of the second or first game. Trying to set up that third base momentarily. It's not that much here yet for innovation, and it does seem like DRG did manage to recuperate some losses there, but that's still a big blue spike right there, giving innovation a bit of a lead. Good point made by Micro plus Macro as well. Of course, that spine being made as well. I mean, it did get cancelled, but still, those are still lost resources. Of course, you're not going to get back. Oh, dear. Well, okay, well. 7 more workers going down just like that. Up in flames. Just when DRG was starting to replenish those forces, DRG makes it plummet back down again. Alright, well, guys, this is becoming quite a bit here. 3 more workers going down again, whereas the Hellions finding a way into the natural base as well. Most of them still alive also to add insult to injury. Well, half of them are still alive. Guess that would be a glass half full kind of situation. But yeah, innovation is definitely doing it. The Spire is coming up. Maybe the Spire play will finally be able to put DRG back into the spot where he is going to make the decisions here for these players. But we'll have to wait and see. Banshee comes in. Doesn't have Cloak. But, okay, there are 2 queens now. Good. Only gets 3 queens. Alright, there we go. That should be plenty. Spire, finally finished. Only enough money at the moment for about 8 Mutalisk. Only 4 of which are being produced right now. Well, we don't have the minerals, you see, for the Mutalisk. We do have the gas. But this is kind of showing how little mineral income overall there is for DRG here. Actually struggling to gain the minerals for the Mutalisk instead of the gas. That is quite a tell. That stuff is not looking all that sharp. Circlings to get into the natural base here. Get rid of the missile turret first and kind of just run into those marines right there. Banelings were trying to come in from the backside as well, but none of them really managing to get even close to the natural base. They do get close enough to get spotted, which means that innovation is going to try to just pick some of them off. And there come the Mutalisk. Those 2 Widowmines could already pick up 50% of the entire flock right now in one shot. It's not a lot. DRG here desperately trying to find a way to get his Mutalisk to do anything. But innovation just in a commanding lead. Has the worker count, has the army supply, has the bases to back it all up as well. Now DRG with his back up against the wall. What will be his place? It looks like he's mostly just trying to avoid the Terran army, which is a good call. Might try to just delay something, anything he can, really. Kind of running around with his Mutalisk there, trying to make sure that Innovation sees that these Mutalisk are going to the bottom side. Maybe hoping that Innovation will try to respond to this. Finding a Widowmine on the backside. But this is the main deal problem kind of situation. Those Marines, not quite enough to make it happen. Innovation makes the comeback happen. And brings it into a 3-2 situation there in the end. Very well played by the Terran.